So welcome to RuneScape 3's tips and tricks. So you've just landed in the world of Gielinor, and the first thing you see is the interface. This can be very overwhelming for new players, so I thought I'd go through some of the basics with it just to help you guys get a feel and a bit of understanding for the interface and where certain things are. So before you type anything, just remember there's two modes the interface is in, and you can tell down here. If it says press enter to chat, you press enter, any keys you type will be in the chat. But if you were to press your keys while this is up saying press enter to chat, it's actually at the moment all your shortcut keys. So you could, if you start typing by accident, you can completely mess up your interface. If I go like that, oh, what the hell just happened? I just typed by accident, load of stuff just opened. Very confusing. So just bear in mind that what mode you're in, if you've pressed enter or if you've not pressed enter. So there is a way to turn this off. So if you see this little button here, if we click that and then we click always on mode. So if you click that and turn that on, whenever you type, it will just generally type in the chat. You don't actually have to worry about destroying your interface. This is nice at first, but in the future I'd recommend not using this, because as you get more into the game, you're going to want to be using your shortcut keys. You might want to press some buttons for certain abilities and so on. So I highly recommend not actually leaving that on, but if you want it on, that's how you do it. Another thing I like to change, if we go to view actions, is the profanity filter, whether you can see swear words or not. I personally like it off, so I'm going to decide to turn that off. Up here as well, we also have your online status. This is who can just randomly DM you. By default, it starts on friends only. You can turn it off completely so no one can see you're online, or you can turn it on, which you can have basically anyone in the game send you a DM. Be careful with that though. You will sometimes get people DMing you a bunch of scams. So I'd recommend leaving it on friends only. So we also have this other button, which is like, it looks like a golf tee. If you click that, this is what you want to show in your general chat. So if you leave it on all chat, this is usually your general one. So if you click that, I turn on clan. I like to see the clan there. A lot of people here will turn off a bunch of stuff, but it's all just preference really. But yeah, I like to turn on all of these for my general chat. My general chat I like to consist of everything. You do have some soloed out chat, so if I click that, this one will show just your PMs, and also you have the same thing here where you can customize it a bit. Then you have your friends chat, which is old school's clan chat. On here it's called friends chat. So if you was to join an old school clan, you would join their friends chat and it crosses over. But then we have a clan system here on RS3. This is where your clan chat would be, and so on. Just feel free to have a look through these. You've also got your emotes and stuff down here as well. So you might be wondering, how do you open the map? So if we look up here at our mini map, there's a few buttons on here. If you just click on the world map, that's how you open your map here, and then you've got loads of little toggleable things down here. I'd recommend maybe just having a look through before you start the game. Just generally have a look through all your settings and get a grip with it before you get moving. Also, these buttons on here, you can right click. So if we right click on run energy, there's the ability to rest. Resting will make your energy refill quicker. So that's how you rest. And if you right click on the world map, you've also got a few other things here like filters if you want to change the sky and stuff. Nothing too major. It's mainly for if you are looking to make some YouTube videos, maybe you might want to use that. And also if you're making YouTube videos, if you look at the compass and you right click and go free cam, this is how people record their cinematics. All the instructions are here. Just press spacebar to get rid of that and F2 to get rid of that, and you're ready to record your nice cinematics. So to get around in RuneScape 3, you also have this button here on your map, which is home tellies. These are all the lodestones, which is this thing here you see in the background. If you click on one, you will do a little animation and it will teleport you there. You'll notice a bunch of them are locked. You have to find it first to be able to use it. But if we use that teleport, we have ended up back here. So if we take a look, see a bunch of them are locked. We'll go on lock one and show you how to use that. If for some reason you find you're walking like me, map, top right, run, just left click it and you'll start running. So we found the Tavali lodestone. If we just activate this one, just click on it once. This one's now available. So if we click on the home teleport option on the map, you'll see we now have a choice of 2, Taverley and Birthright. So we've gone over the map and its buttons and some general chat stuff. So let's talk about the interface as a whole. It's very customizable. If you don't want to accidentally type and destroy it, you can also lock the interface by pressing the L key. So unlocked means you can grab stuff and just move it around. When it is locked, you are unable to do so. Everything is stuck where it is. So for the moment, we're going to keep it unlocked in case we want to change anything. So while it is unlocked, you can put stuff wherever you want, and this can get a little bit overwhelming. You can also like change the size of certain things, and I'd recommend just keeping it basic to begin with. You can drag and drop these into other interfaces as well, so you get what we had to start with, and you can also just change the size of them as well, which yeah, it's fully customizable. I would just recommend to just be careful at the beginning that you don't do too much crazy stuff, and just sort of keep it kind of basic. If you are coming over from old school, you might be interested in the legacy interface. So there's 2 ways to get to the settings. Down here we have this bar which gets you to pretty much all your different interfaces. Like here's the magic book. If we click that, you've got your magic abilities, your magic spells, your teleports, and so on. And also down here, you've got this little cog. If we left click that, it'll bring you to this screen with where you can access your settings. Alternatively, you can just press escape to get to your settings. So we see this button here. If we just click settings, so there's a lot of damn settings in here. Obviously, here's your graphics ones. Make sure you get this right for your computer. And then there's ones for all your short keys, your audio, and so on, but we'll just stick with gameplay for now. So I would recommend, honestly, going through this whole thing and just reading it, going through every single one, seeing all the different options. There are just so many different ones, but I'll just bring to attention some to you guys who may be new. So the first one we're going to go to is Legacy. So down here, you can use the Legacy interface mode, which is very similar to old school RuneScape. So if we tick that, so here, it's pretty similar to old school, a little bit later than old school, or maybe full mode's pretty similar to this. But yeah, it puts everything like this. You know, you got your bag. If you're on a big monitor like me, it can be a bit tiny. But yeah, that's where you find that. I would highly recommend not using it though, and just getting used to the game as it is. So if we go back to Legacy, we'll untick that and accept. And we're back to where we was. So if we go back to that setting again, you have Legacy Combat Mode. If we click that, it removes all the abilities and just puts you in the old school-esque style combat. Again, I would not recommend this. It's not the same as old school. It's just similar. Why is that loot beaming? I don't know. But yeah, it's just similar. You just hit and wait kind of thing. But it's not the same. It's not Legacy. You can't do the things you can do on old school. I would highly recommend, like, if you're going to play this game, try and enjoy it for what it is. So I'd recommend not using Legacy, and we'll keep that turned off. So while we're on the topic of combat, if we just go escape settings, we're going to head over to combat and action bars. So here you'll see combat XP. This is where you decide what you want your XP to go into when you're using that combat style. So for this one's melee, you pick if you want to get just attack XP, a combination of 2 different ones, or all 3, and you do the same for magic and range as well. Just pick how you want your XP to be distributed while you're killing stuff. So the next thing I recommend is to list all your challenges and your dailies, monthlies, weeklies, and things along that line. So there's 2 ways to get there. So you've got this button here, or you can press escape and click it here as well. And if we go over to challenges, here you have daily challenges, which are things you can do just to get a bit of a reward. So if we go to prayer, it says bury 5 bones, combat, kill 5 cows. If you do one of these, you just come back here and then you press claim, and you'll get yourself a bit of an XP as a reward for doing these challenges. You'll get a new one every day, and they're always worth doing. Also, if we head over to mini games, I don't think this tab should be called mini games, because what everyone actually uses it for is their D&Ds. So if you put this on D&Ds, you'll probably never take it off this. So make sure you come here and put this on D&Ds. These are things you can do once a month like Troll Invasion, or once a week like Herbie Werby, Meg the Circus. Just things that recur that are definitely worth doing. Definitely leave this on D&D, and this is where you find them. If they say ready, it means you haven't done them yet, so you just click on them. It'll tell you like where they are and stuff, and how to get there. And then yeah, make sure you be doing your D&Ds. So here's another tip that I struggled with at first. It's auto retaliate. So if someone hits me, does my character automatically hit them back? And where do I toggle that on and off? Well, it's over here on the bar. So if you just click this, 1 sword means you won't fight back if someone hits you. 2 swords means you will auto retaliate, in a completely different spot to the older version of the game, so it can be kind of hard to find. So for the next section, we're going to be talking about quests. So we can either click quests here, this button here, and it will bring this up, and that's where your quests are. I think by default, they only show ones that you can actually complete, and they're ordered free, mini quests, and then members, but we can change that. So if we just press escape, and we go to adventures again, and we head over to quests. Here you can tick and untick loads of different stuff, and you can also change the order. I personally like release date. So here they'll be ordered by 2001, 2002, so on to present day. And obviously you see that's not a lot of quests because we've got can complete and recommended tick. If we untick that, we now have all the quests listed in their release order. But there's other ways you can do this. You can do them in difficulty, so it'll show like novice, and then intermediate, and so on. Just have a look, see what you prefer, and just put it to what you like. So there is an examine feature on other players. So if we right click on this guy and we press examine, you can actually look at all their items and what they are. You can see their stats, bunch of different stuff. But if you ever want to report a player, there's a little button in the top left, little red flag. If you just click that, and you can actually report a player that way as well. So you'll soon find when you start making money in this game that it doesn't appear in your inventory. Money is kept down here at the bottom right of your backpack, and that is your cash. And here we have a price checker as well. So if you've got certain items, you can chuck them in and see how much they're worth as well, right next to your coin pouch. So you may have already noticed, if you've played this game for a while, if you take a boat can actually get really annoying. So when you enter the boat, you get this cute, nice little cutscene of your guy traveling on a boat. But after you've seen it about 50,000 times, you can press escape, obviously, to skip it. But there is a way to turn these off completely. So if you'd like to turn them cutscenes off, if you just press escape, go settings and interfaces, and then game interactions. Here you'll find cutscenes, and then we have skip boat cutscenes. If you tick that, you'll never see that boat cutscene ever again. So another thing you may have noticed, when teleporting long distances, you get this loading screen, which appears now with the little loading bar. You can actually turn that off. So if we go to escape and then we go settings, this one's actually over in graphics. And if you scroll down to the bottom, there is loading screens. There's a little tick box. If you untick that, next time you teleport, you won't actually get the loading screen. It'll just drop you in straight away. So just another tip for changing your interface. If we just press escape, settings, gameplay, and then we go interfaces, appearance. Here you can change the transparency of your actual interface, or you can either make it see-through or go down and make it completely solid, which I'd probably recommend to begin with, just so you don't accidentally try and click through them. And you can also turn off these bits where it says backpack, all chat, minimap once you get used to it, and that is slim headers. So if we click that, it'll actually get rid of them as well. Another thing I personally like is my bag to stay 4x4, but if you notice, if I change it, like if it's like slightly off and then it knocks it like that, but I want it a bit bigger, kind of annoys me. I want it to stay 4x4 no matter how big it is. So if we press escape, settings, and we go to gameplay interfaces, and then we go to inventory, you can set this slider here to 4. And now, when I change the size, it will stay in that 4 column, or you can have it to any number you want, but it won't matter how big I have it. I can make it slightly bigger without changing the order. So another thing in this same section which can get really annoying, especially when you do a lot of quests, is the warning when you try to use a lamp. Like, you'll click on a lamp in your inventory and it'll give you a warning. You can actually tick this box here. If you untick that, you'll just use lamps automatically, unless you're worried about getting XP in certain skills. Like, some people like to have 1 defense, but it's actually quite uncommon in RuneScape 3. That's the reason for the warning. But yeah, if you untick it, the XP will just go straight in as soon as you click on the lamp. And another thing you'll notice here is the drag to drop items. I would leave that ticked. If you drag an item out of your inventory and you let go of it, it just drops it on the floor. So you finally got an interface you're happy with, and you're worried you could make some like drastic changes, mess everything up, and completely lose the one you're happy with. But what you do is, once you've got it exactly how you're happy with it, if you just press escape, go edit layout mode, here is where you can do some seriously advanced stuff. I wouldn't recommend tinkering with this too much until you're actually quite comfortable, or maybe save a preset before you mess around with it. But if we go to edit layout mode and we go to my custom one and we just save that one. So if you did like really mess it up and you was worried and you wanted to get back to the one you saved, just go escape and then go to my custom one, and that will reload the last one you saved. So yeah, there's some of my general interface tips. If you are an experienced player and you are watching this and you think there's some basic things I didn't cover, let me know down in the comments and I'll make sure to include them in a future video. If you did enjoy this and it was helpful, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up. There's still a bazillion million other things to cover in this game, but hopefully this will help you get on your way to understanding the interface a bit better. And thanks for watching. Catch you later.